What's up, though? It's your man, DJ Flexx. I'm excited for this conversation with some of my fellow DJs for Keep the Beat Week. And we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is go-go. So let me start off. I want to dive right into it. Let me bring in my man, Big John, that Bama be cranking. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, give some of your history, and why you continue to be a staple in the community, John?
I think it's about the relationships. I've lived this go-go community. I've lived this DC life. I've been accessible and I've been a part of it. You see me, I'm there. I'm not just behind the scenes. So that's kind of like my being a staple in the community. I'm really in the community. I'm there.
Yeah, we see you out there. No question about that. And also we got my brother, ballhead brother number 2, Dirty Rico. How you doing, Rico? Tell them about you and what you do and how you stay a staple of the community.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, we've been doing this thing together, Ballhead 1 and 2 for well over 30 years. Been doing a whole lot throughout the go-go community, not just, making noise or doing records, but making noise, being, present at the events with the bands, knowing the band members and understanding what the music itself means to DC and how the music also brings the communities together like crazy. Should I say, I think it's known to a lot of folks, and if it's not by now, go-go music ain't going nowhere. And with the help of us three, man, I think we kind of like stamp that on 1,000%. So,
Well, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's just a definite part that people need to know.
All right. I'll step in a little bit too, just tell you a little bit about me. I mean, I've been doing this for as long as I can remember.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I've been fortunate to be blessed to be able to create some of the music, as well as I consider myself a go-go ambassador who travels outside of DC and the country to share our music with people as well. And that's one of my favorite things that I love to do. I like to get outside of the city and share this wonderful thing we got called go-go music with the world. That's one of my things. And also, try to keep it relevant as much as I can through radio and however that we can, because it's important for all three of us to make sure that we do our parts to keep go-go moving. That's how it's got to be. Now, Big John, how did you get started DJing?
All right. The story goes back during the day, way back. I won't tell my age. During the East Side days, I used to go talk on a microphone while Mix would play. DJ Mix would be playing down the East Side. And then I was looking at Mix a couple times while I was playing, and I was like, you know what? I could be getting this money doing both of them. And thus was the birth of my DJ career. I took my income tax check I had got back from my good government job, went and bought me some 1200s and the basics and the low-end Gemini stuff that a lot of people started out with. I would have bought that and straight to the living room and, Mix cracked that whip. First thing you're gonna learn how to do is mix. Shut up. I had the talking part out the gate, but I had to learn the other part. So that's how I started in DJing. Then I was a student of the game, man. I studied all y'all, man. I can quote the stuff you say, safe sex, I can do all that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I remember going down St. Thomas More, watching people like DJ Phase and stuff like that, man. I studied DC Fats and I stalked Rico, that's where I started. I was a student of the game. And that's
no doubt. So Rico, who was some of your influences coming up DJing?
Definitely DJ Cool. I got to say that because, I came from up under that tool that he cracked as carry my crates. And that's that tool that carry my crate, you know.
Yeah.
Learning that and getting into the method of actually how to get myself organized and being able to hear him and voices like Lil Benny and voices like, you know, James Funk and voices like this dude named DJ Flexx, you know what I'm saying? And Capricorn D, man, some DJs, DJ Easy, whole lot, it's a whole lot of us, should I say, that I had stored, you know, within my craft, within myself, and how I push myself forward into, you know, staying into this game and, you know, making sure I mold myself to always be relevant, to be that ear sore, not just the eye sore to folks, and to, you know, to make sure that I put something forth into the business, not just let the business make me, but put something forth into the business itself. You know what I'm saying? Bringing something to the table. And the energy from everybody that I came up under, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, all you men that kind of like push me, it's kind of like something that I can never let go of. You know what I'm saying?
All right, it's your man DJ Flexx, and what we're doing is we're having a conversation about DJing and go-go, and I was part of Keep the Beat Week, and we're celebrating right now. I got two of my fellow great DJs with me, DJ Big John and DJ Dirty Rico, and I want to talk about your first memory of go-go when you were exposed to it. I like to start, if that's okay, guys. My first live time, I actually went and saw a band. I don't even remember how old I was, but I know I went to Cherries. I went to Cherries and it was unbelievable. I know that I'm dating myself and I don't care, but these guys, I didn't understand what was going on in there, but these guys had these big radios and they was holding them in front of the speakers. And I said, what are they doing? And somebody, older dude told me, said they're recording the show. Because this is before PA tapes came out. And the way you would try to get a tape of the performance, they would actually let you bring radios in and record the show. It was crazy. But to see the energy and the call and the response and them big ass speakers, oh my gosh, they was hit me in my chest. And I'll never forget that feeling the first time I got hit in the chest with that kick drum and then hearing them congos, baka baka boo boo. My first baka baka boo boo was incredible. So that was my first go-go. And then my first go-go DJ memory was sneaking into the East Side on Thanksgiving night to see DJ Cool and was blown away about how he controlled the crowd and then how he was banging them records out. And I said, I want to do that. How about you, Big John?
Man, it seems like everybody got a sneak in watch story, but one of the memories that stands out the most to me that I remember was Rosecroft Raceway, and Chuck Brown got out the limo, had the boots and the fur on. To me, he was like Michael Jackson at the time, you know, at my age, young, but that's one of the ones that stand out to me the most. And then I grew up around all that. I lived 2 blocks from Cherry, straight up Atlantic Street, you know. So all the people that was living over there, from Miss Mac, Essence, Lil Benny, all, you know, on both sides, all of them lived, I could walk to all their houses. And so those are my first memories. And watching, been in them practice in the Baptist Center. People from the South Side would know what the Baptist Center is. I remember them walking up there and going to practice in the Baptist Center. Those are my first memories.
All right, Rico, how about you?
For me, it's kind of similar to both you guys, because my grandmother was up on 4th and Atlantic, and I would always walk down the hill to Xenia and listen to RE practicing. Then going to Cherries every Friday, Saturday, and if it was an off-school situation on Monday, we was going to Cherries on Sunday, walking, man, and going to the go-go like crazy. And what's so kind of like wild about it is, hearing the voice of Tricky Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing the voice of Tricky Rick, man. And that was like the greatest. Going into Cherries, first of all, and hearing all the bands on stage and in the floor. And it just going until 3, 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning sometime. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and experiencing that whole situation of, like I said, the music itself and being in the party was just great at that age, you know, at the age of 13, maybe 14.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Tricky Rick was the first go-go DJ. He DJ'd all the events. Didn't matter where it was at. If Tricky Rick was not the DJ, it was a problem. You know what I'm saying?
He was the trickiest guy alive.
No doubt, no doubt. And one of my favorite memories comes from Wilmers Park, seeing Chuck Brown there for the first time. And I will be celebrating in May the 10th anniversary of the passing of the Godfather Go-Go, Chuck Brown, who created the music. So I like to ask you guys, what does Chuck Brown mean to you? How about you, Big John?
I mean, of course, pioneer and teacher. Even when he wasn't even trying to teach, just being himself, it felt like it was a teaching experience for me, the times I was around him. And then on top of that, people that were close to him that traveled, like being around Al, the sound man Al, who traveled around him, and just hearing so many stories. Like, if somebody talking about Chuck, they telling the stories of stuff that he done said, you know, and that stuff stick with you for a lifetime, you know. So that was my exposure right there to Chuck and much. Yeah.
How about you, Rico?
Chuck was amazing. I was able to DJ one of the last shows before he actually got sick. And if he loved you, you knew it. If he had a problem with you, you knew it. If he didn't know you, you didn't know that he didn't know you. You know what I'm saying? Because he would always greet anybody, you know, with a welcome heart. You know what I'm saying? Hey, son, what's happening? Hey, honey, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Give me some sugar. Yeah, everything all right?
Yeah.
You know? And he was just that person. He was the one who was set up and would tell you straight up, you have to remember to be nice to everybody, no matter what the situation is. If there's a problem, deal with it. And make sure you deal with it towards where you got respect at the end. That's something that always stuck with me, that he would always say, you know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, and make sure you let people know that you ain't gonna stand for no BS.
Right, right.
I never know nobody to really have a problem like with Chuck. I mean, you know, we all still human, but it seemed like everybody appeared to get along with Chuck, you know.
Oh, absolutely. The respect factor was amazing. And not only that, Chuck was just on a different level, because when you went to a Chuck Brown show, it was a fashion show. It was the excellence of go-go. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you this, one of my favorite Chuck Brown shows ever is when he recorded Go-Go Swing at Crystal Skate. I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was there, and it was unbelievable. We're in the middle of the skating floor, and he just crushing it. And then one thing about being at the Go-Go is that everybody wanted to get their neighborhood put on. And so they would put these signs up. Everybody would hold signs up. And whoever was on the lead mic would give shout outs to the different crews and different neighborhoods. But Chuck, especially, you can hear it on Go-Go Swing. He would say, he would ask for respect for the ladies. Let the ladies up front. And gentlemen, I want to see the ladies. I don't want to see the signs. I was like, yo, this is great, man. This is great. We're having a wonderful conversation about Go-Go through 3 DJs' eyes as we celebrate Keep the Beat Week. Now, I'm DJ Flexx along with Big John and Dirty Rico. Now, we're DJs, and sometimes when we play, we're not playing at a go-go. And a lot of times people think of go-go's straight bands, but what is the role of the DJ when it comes to spreading go-go music when there's no band and it's just you at the event? I'll get that one to you first, Rico.
Give them that crank. Give them that power. Give them what they need to hear. And what's crazy is me being on the road and being on tour with Raheem Devon, I kind of like got a situation that I can explore a little bit more to let people know where I'm from when I do it. I tell them straight up, I said, oh, so let me give you this. I might drop the butt to them, and I might drop sardines and pork meats to them. I'll be like, all right, so that's what you used to hear. Then I'll throw something else to them. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw some other RE to them. I might throw a different backyard song to them. I'll throw something like, I'll throw the water dance and I'll throw Clear My Throat in there. Like, all right, so this is what you used to hear. Then this is what you need to hear. And I'll throw Southeast Anthem out there.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Or something else. It's like go-go music, it has a broad range of these musicians that we have in our city that actually let it go and get it in. And the thing is, people around the globe now are actually starting to get a bigger feel for it. And big ups to everybody that's from DC that's helping us push it, living in other places. Us as DJs, we got so much music in our catalog from the bands, period. You can blink, like right now, it's a band being developed right now. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, we share so much music to the listeners from bands, and it just helps them get that notoriety of who they are to the folks that are not here in the city.
I hear that. Now, let me ask you, Big John, your nickname is That Bama Be Cranking.
And he does.
Right. So let me ask you this. What are your go-to songs that get the party cranking when you DJ?
Okay. Well, I had like a metaphor, what I was thinking for DJs outside of the go-go.
Yes.
So if you had like a peach, so, you got what's inside the peach, that's the people that go to the go-go. And then the DJs expose. So it's plenty of people that don't go to go-go's, but they love go-go and they enjoy the music. The only way they get it is from DJs and the radio and the stuff. So that's how vital it is. That was just piggybacking on what Rico was talking about. But then them go-to songs, it depends on the people that I'm in front of.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing classics, if people that are not that familiar to the music, but they can catch the classics and they may have heard them before. So that's your, you're doing the butt, sardine, the word, or whatever, those type of songs. But when I'm with people that are experienced to go-go, I go out of my way to try and play songs that I know other DJs don't have.
I know that's right.
Because they try and keep go-go in a box, like when I was in college, they'd be like, here come Work the Walls. Work the Walls and whatever go-go song, and the DJ out of there. So, but, so depending on the crowd, that's going to determine what's go-go, and I know we got some music, we put our collection up against anybody, because we done lived all the way through all of it.
Right. I'll tell you this, man, especially being in some of my events outside of the country. I'll tell you one of my favorites is being in Germany. And I said, I'm homesick. Is it okay? Can I go home, ladies and gentlemen? And it's funny because half the people don't know what the hell I'm saying because they speak German, but they like, hey, do it, whatever. And then when I'm out the country, I have to drop the butt first. And the reason why is because that's the one that everybody knows. But then after that, I start working my way in. I hit them with Overnight Scenario, and then I start getting a little deeper, but I know I can't play with about good 20 minutes because this is music they never heard before. But it's all right. You can't give them the whole good hour and a half or nothing like that. It's not going to work. But it's all right, though. I'm just honored to be able to play the music outside of the country and the people hear it and respect it and then ask you to come back and say, can you play that again? I like that. That was incredible. I enjoyed that. But we're having a wonderful conversation to celebrate Keep the Beat Week. I'm DJ Flexx along with DJ Big John and Dirty Rico. We just 3 DJs having a conversation about music, go-go music. Now, let me bring this question up. How important is it for the DJ to bridge the gap between the older go-go, which we tend to call crank, and the younger go-go, which is bounce beat? How can DJs be the bridge of that gap? Who wants to take that question?
I mean, I'll go first. You'll never love what you're not exposed to. And that's where the DJ comes in. So it has to be, one, we have to expose them to it, and then they have to be receptive of it. Some of the old heads, they love go-go as their child, and they might not want to receive some of the newer go-go music because, like our parents before us, James Brown was James Brown. They felt they didn't need a new James Brown. And go-go can be the same way. They feel like, I don't need this bounce beat, crank beat, whatever you want to call it. But that's where the DJ come in. Oh, you think you don't like this? Let me play this Marvin Gaye bounce beat. Oh, you feeling this now? Oh, you feeling it? So that's where the DJ come in at.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And I can say the same thing. Here's the thing. I think even for a lot of folks, when it came down to crunk music coming into the bridge of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? It took a lot of people to take time to embrace the crunk feel of hip hop, just like it took them a lot of time to embrace the trap feel of hip hop. With go-go music, with us having the bounce is like, it's that new age era. And when it comes down to it, when you got that formula, it's just recycling actually what a lot of bands already did, but it's kind of like putting that millennial power to it that we have to actually let the music itself connect. You gotta go ahead and just let it milk each other. Because the thing is, this is how it's coming about. When you think of old school music now, like John was saying, Albert, stuff like that. Somebody's favorite bounce beat band is going to have an old school song in 2 years. Something from the bounce beat era is going to be old school in 2 years. Some from TCB is old school now. You know what I'm saying? From AAO, from UCB, CCB, that's all old school.
Yeah.
But see,
the same way with other music, people reinvent themselves to stay relevant, Jay-Z and whatever. And I just think the newer go-go is kind of like a reinventing. It's still the same, the clothes, the feel, the go-go, the call and response. Those elements are still there, but this is just my opinion. It's a reinventing of what it was already the foundation of go-go music. And now that the older bands are playing it too, I think that helps bridge that gap as well. Yeah. They bouncing too now.
Okay, let me switch gears a little bit. All right, we're coming up on 2 years of the bill being signed for go-go music being the official music of DC. What does this legislation mean for the culture?
So I was thinking like Black Lives Matter. When we got the legislation, I felt that go-go matters. I felt that it felt relevant and people were seeing us on a different level and not necessarily with a black eye or something. And I didn't feel like we arrived. I felt like it's the beginning of where we're going.
Okay.
That's what it was for me, where we're headed to more, to the next level.
Okay. Rico?
I want to thank Mayor Bowser for the fact that she's been one to give proclamations to some of the bands. You know what I'm saying? To give that to Rare Essence, to give that to Junkyard, to give that to Chuck Brown, to give that to Lil Benny, to give that to any of the band members themselves. It kind of like shows that we have been, should I say, not just sticking a fork into what's going on. We matter.
There we go.
All throughout, throughout our city. And to actually have this bill pushed, when it actually got hit, it was like wow. Like you can feel a weight coming up off the music and the music just coming to progression a whole lot more. There was a lot more respect put into it.
First the bill, next the museum, and then we just keep going. That's all.
Well, let me throw another one on top of all of that. Then we also got the Grammys, who now are recognizing go-go on a regional form of music. What do you guys think about that? The music being recognized by the Grammys on a national level.
I think it's a big thing because it first started for me to see them recognize Chuck Brown when Chuck Brown passed. When I saw them actually do that, and they did it on the big screen for everybody, to see when they showed, them showing the in memory of for folks that passed away. When they gave Chuck his acknowledgement, when they did that, I kind of like knew something was sure to come.
Yeah.
When it came down to the Grammys doing any kind of love to go-go music, and they didn't just show his picture, they played his music.
Right.
When they did it. Then it came down to BET showing their love and doing what they did. Then it came down, coming down the domino effect to the Oscars with Glenn Close doing what she did. So, you know what I'm saying? When it's still coming down to national artists like Snoop, when it's down to Taraji P, up to Regina, up to, come on now. We got a lot. Yeah.
Call me greedy, but they got a hip hop album of the year. I'm thinking big. Well, how about a go-go album of the year? Call me greedy. The best single, the best bounce beat. Those are genres of music, jazz and other stuff. Why can't it be that for go-go?
I'm saying it soon come.
And I'm not mad at that. It's your boy DJ Flexx. We're celebrating Keep the Beat Week right here, and having a conversation with two of my go-go friends, my compadres in this thing. I got DJ Big John, I got DJ Dirty Rico, and we're talking about go-go music from a DJ's perspective. Now, what are the challenges for the new go-go artists that are coming out now? What are those challenges? Who wants to take that one?
I'll go first. I'll say one, originality is definitely a challenge. Make your own music.
Mm-hmm.
Two, venues. We don't have the venues like we used to, especially for the younger kids to go to. When I was younger, I had places I can go to. And then a big thing is, and it's just John's opinion, I feel like go-go has missed a generation altogether. I'm tell you why I say that. Like, when I was a child, around the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, go-go was a way of life for me. My daughter, even now, but even since she was 15, she don't really do go-go. And I think her friends, they don't really do go-go. So I feel like go-go missed a generation. They got to get back. So if my daughter and them not listening, and her friends are not listening to go-go, what are their kids going to do? They might be growing up in D.C., so I feel like we're missing a generation.
Let me ask you this, then why do you think we missed that generation? And I got something I would like to say about that as well, but why do you think we missed that generation?
A couple of reasons. One, I think, again, that exposure, I don't think it's in the schools like it used to be. I don't think, and then we had the little bands, so-called little bands coming up. We had the Junkyards, and then my older son, who's older than my daughter, he had the TCBs, the ABMs. But then, what are the newer, younger bands for them? They need to be like their age. Bugs and them, we were in school together. Right. So we're the people that was John's age, my daughter's age, their friends in college that are playing in a band. Where are they? Chris and those guys are older now. The Bounce Beat guys, they 30 and 40 now. They're older. So where are those new ones, the 20-year-olds that start a band that go to school with those kids that are 15 and stuff? So I think that's what, in my opinion.
Okay, my thing I'm gonna say about that, which you took from me, and that means no, it's good. That means we got great minds think alike. Is that taking a lot of the musical programs out of the schools has been a problem? Think about this. Do we all know the one school? There's one school that really set a lot of go-go in stone, and that is Baloo.
Say it again. Tell Rico.
Big Bad Baloo. You
Class of 87, you hear me?
Come on, man. We talking about Rare Essence. We talking about Junkyard. We talking about EU.
Come on.
All coming out of Baloo. You know what I'm saying? So we really need to get back to getting the music back into the schools. But also, I think some of the elders didn't embrace some of the youngins as well as they should have to expose them and teach them and groom them more so that we didn't have that lapse
Right.
Well, we missed a generation, and I agree with you on that. We missed a bunch, and it's kind of hard to play pickup right now because there's not a lot of places for them to play, and because they're limited places to play, a lot of the more established bands are taking them spots because that's what they do, and I'm not mad at that. It just is what it is. But we need to figure out more places for the music to get exposed to the younger audience. So, Rico, I'll go back to the first question. How can the younger up-and-coming or the new go-go artists be successful?
Take a book from up out of the old situation of how we used to do mixtapes. Put these CDs together, put these thumb drives together, get out there and get it to the DJs. Get it to the public. Like John said, it's a broad amount of folks that don't go to the go-go's, but it's so many people on Spotify. It's so many people on Apple Music. It's so many people on SoundCloud, everything. Here's the thing, build your originality, build up that catalog, get it up out there to folks. Social media is your friend, along with it being your enemy to some. It's your friend. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody that's going to, do you justice and come and record your practice or your live show wherever you may be performing live. Put it up on a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, IG, get busy with it. You got so many national artists that get discovered through social media. So with being a band, why can't you do the same thing? Go the same route of that avenue, burn it up. And as far as, like I said, when it comes down to the DJs, you got a lot of these underground hip hop artists, and I'm saying take bits out of the books that they do. That do these mixtapes, that come to these clubs and will put their music in the DJ's hands. Right in their hands. And now you can, if you put it on a thumb drive, you can give it to us and we can slide it in our laptop and listen to it right there and see what's happening. If you don't put in the work to make sure that you get your music out there, you're just gonna be one of those fixtures on the shelf and ain't nobody gonna never know who you are.
When we were in high school, it wouldn't be a 3-month period that we wouldn't have a new tape or CD or whatever. Now, go-go's not put out there like that. Like, the kids are not talking about, that's the one from the panorama room, or that's the CD, playing. That's totally gone from the school. And another big thing is, before, because, I've been in this thing a while, you can go to a high school now and not play a go-go record, and you get away. Nobody was even say nothing. Back when we were in school, if a DJ came there and didn't play go-go, you'll never see that DJ again. And I think that's the problem. Not
only that, I'm sure you guys remember, and I'm going to switch gears after this. I know you guys remember that it used to be an artist couldn't come to DC and perform you couldn't do the Capitol Center, any big event and a go-go band not headline. You know what I mean? It couldn't be any of those. You couldn't. I remember somebody telling me a story about Curtis Blow was coming to town and they wanted him to come on after Trouble Funk. And he said, hell no, it's absolutely no way that I'm going to come into this city and with their music and come. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna play myself. And I've seen it happen before where an artist thought he could. I'm not gonna say his name because he's my man, but he came in and just knew that because he was a real big hip hop artist, major household name, and just knew that he was going to do his thing. But he came on after the What Band, and everybody rolled out on him. And y'all know who I'm talking about, but I'm going to leave it at that. All right, it's Keep the Beat Week right here. It's your man, DJ Flexx. I'm here with some of my DJ friends, DJ Dirty Rico and DJ Big John. And also, we all have radio experience. So I want to take the conversation there now about the DJ and radio play. So let me start off by this, taking it back a little bit. I remember in the early to mid 90s, that's when go-go, I believe, had their heyday because we had multiple bands. I want to say, first of all, for WPGC, I want to send some love out to LBD because he was the one who really made sure that all the bands got on. You have to look at it. Can you imagine all these bands in rotation at the same time? Rare Essence, Junkyard, EU, Pure Elegance, Hucklebucks. I'm sure I'm missing somebody else, but all in regular rotation. No Peace Groovers, thank you. At the same time. Now we have to have specialty shows, or we just get to play a little bit here and there and sprinkle it in, or what do we do now? So what's the DJ's role now with go-go and the radio? I will say one last thing, then I'll give it to you guys. For me, it goes back to originality. I get hit with some songs, but it's stuff that I'm already playing on the radio. And if you ain't got like the acapella and the artists playing under the beat that you created, right, I'm not into it. I'd rather play the regular song. That's the cover tunes don't do nothing for me, especially on the radio. That's a tune out, and I know it's a tune out. So we're looking for original pieces, not getting them like we used to. But what do you guys think?
It's kind of scary, and I'm just going to be honest because we're living in a area now where 102.3 is playing more go-go than the younger stations, if you will. So that missing that generation, it's great. I applaud 102 for what they're doing, but for this thing to keep moving, we need that music on them younger stations. Yeah. The same way. I know y'all can't believe you would ever thought of a time that 102 would be paying more go-go than the other station. I never saw that. I never saw that day. And because of the demographic, those kids, they don't have the attachment that the people have gotten older. So now it results in those other stations, the 102.3s and the 96s playing more go-go than the 95s and the 93s, just be honest. Now, what's going to bridge that gap? Somebody going to have to show me or tell me, because a couple years from now, what's going to be left? We're still going to be we're getting older. That ain't going to keep the music going. We can love it where it's at, but we got to get those people. Something got to happen.
And the younger DJs got to be able to they got to do it too.
Yeah, my son DJ, he played the classics.
Yeah. So Rico, you are the golden child on this one because Magic 102.3, you be getting it in. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. So your thoughts on this conversation?
I think John kind of like summed it up. It's going to take for the younger DJs to, should I say, get up off your butt and come and listen to the bands so you can go ahead and get familiar with it. So you can go ahead and be able to edit the music. That's another thing, I'm saying? I take pleasure in getting anything that I'm listening to from the Go-Go's. If I need to edit it, bring it up some more, put a little bit more kick into it, or, some of the words. I do my homework. I do the work.
So you got, not to cut you off, Rico, so this streaming world is taking over. Real quick, the streaming world is taking over. So you got the older DJs that stream and play go-go. To both of y'all, how often do you see the younger DJs that play go-go stream on Twitch or any of the Facebook? When do you see these guys stream and play go-go?
Not much, bro.
You don't. You know why? They have not done their homework.
Not only that, they ain't got nothing to play.
They ain't got nothing to play. That's it. They have not done their homework and they don't have anything to play. Now, when it comes out to with radio, with 102.3, I got that library that I can use, that I can beat up from Trouble Funk, from High Cold Sweat, to DC Scorpio, to RE, to EU, to Pure Elegance, to Pleasure, to DJ Flexx, to DJ Cool, to man, come on, dog, to Northeast Groovers, to the What Band, to Backyard Early Stages, to Junkyard Early Stages, to anybody I want to, because it's all classic. And would it been in the grown school? I call it grown school. I don't call it old school. Would it been in the grown school stage? Would it been in that crank field? I can get all into it and not have a problem. I ain't gonna miss a beat. Because the thing is, like John said, it was a point of time when we had the bands would put out PAs like crazy.
Yeah.
Period. And they were all over. I still got some tapes. I still got some cassettes. I got a lot of CDs. I got some CDs I jumped back into, and I still got the vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you don't have it, if you can't find it as a DJ, call somebody.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Call Rico.
Yeah. Like, hey, you got this, Joe?
Don't call me.
I mean, but it's just what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And like, but that whole, like you said, the generation gap that got missed, the generation that got missed, is now up to them to exercise their brain and get more familiar with the music. And that's why I say to a lot of DJs that's coming up in it, if you're not going to do your homework, you're in the way.
Yeah. All right. We're celebrating Keep the Beat Week. And I'm your guy, DJ Flexx, along with DJ Big John and DJ Dirty Rico. We just talking, having a conversation about go-go. We getting low on time, guys, so I want to wrap this in a minute. But I want to speak. I know you guys work crazy schedules and you're always busy, but are you working on anything for the culture, for the music? You got any projects, anything like that coming?
Well, I'll go first and get out the way. In terms of, so my schedule is getting crazy, and I am clearly have more years behind me than I do in front of me in terms of the go-go. Mainly now, I just keeping alive what it is, and I still DJ with the bands, regularly. But I'm broad and moving into other areas, especially answering my call. So that consumes a lot of my time and a lot of my focus. But, it's time for other people to step up the plate. Now, I feel like go-go don't owe me nothing. And other DJs, young aspiring DJs, I just hope that when you get your point, you can say go-go don't owe you nothing because you put so much into it,
All right. Rico?
Working on a few projects. Got something else coming with Rare Essence. Got something else coming up with Faces You Know. Got something else coming up with DJ Flexx. And we kind of like working just to make sure that the music don't stop, that it don't go nowhere. That it's always gonna be something coming fresh from us two, just as well as it should be coming from the new band that's coming up next week. Yeah. I don't know what their name is yet, but I'm gonna find out. And I'm sure I'm gonna be putting my ears to their music. And just, getting down into the parties with, Junkyard, with Rare Essence, with Backyard, with What Band, and DC Vibe. Whatever you do, put your ears to DC Vibe Band. And when we talk about somebody that can actually do it. I know they do the cover situation, but when I tell you, the dude Derek and my girl Brandy, they get it in like crazy. And it's a whole lot of respect for them that's out here amongst the bands that I got love for.
All right. So,
definitely.
I would also say, look out, if you ever see New Impressions, that's a great band. And the reason why I like New Impressions,
I raised them.
right, they go back and forth between bounce beat and crank. And we need more of that. We need more of that. For myself, I got a bunch of irons in the fire. I can't speak on them because there's a lot of politics that I don't get involved in. There are some records that that you love that I have something to do with, and you'll never know because I'm not gonna ever tell you. You know what I mean? I don't need props. I just want the music to do what it's supposed to do. And I got a lot more coming. I got a lot coming. It would have already been out by now, but that COVID messed everything up. And we have to be strategic because of our limitations with our music. If we can't expose it the right way, we're not going to be able to put it out the right way. So we want to make sure that we roll it out the right way. So hopefully, we thought the COVID would be over by now. So we're regrouping, and we're going to figure out the next step. I want to thank you guys for participating in this roundtable discussion on Keep the Beat Week. Big John, how can they get at you on social media?
On Twitter and Instagram. I'm blessed to have so many DJ Big Johns in the world, but I have both of them on Twitter, Instagram, no spaces, of course, DJ Big John, one word, Instagram and Twitter. And then if you search Crankin' on Facebook, I tend to be the first person to pop up. Day-wise, because my slogan, that band will be Crankin', but it is my government name on Facebook, John Royster. That's an oyster with an R in front, John Royster. Or just search Crankin' on Facebook. You're going to find me somewhere on there.
Awesome. Rico, how to get at you?
Get me on Instagram, DJ Rico, the Noisemaker, or on Twitter at DJ Dirty Rico, and Facebook, Rico Scott. And I'm on the 202 on
Twitch.
Yeah. And make sure y'all plug y'all radio shows too, man. Please.
Magic 102.3, 92.7, Monday through Friday on the Donnie Simpson Show. Thursday and Friday with Vic Jagger at 10 o'clock. And Noisemaker Nation Fridays, every Friday at 7 p.m.
That is behind me now. Maybe on a Mixed Master weekend. That's about it now.
All right, cool. You can reach me at DJFLEXXDC on Instagram and Twitter. You can catch me on WPGC Monday through Friday afternoons 2 to 6. And I look forward to some new music coming your way. And I look for big things from all three of us because we love this music and this is what we do for a living. And we will do anything that we can do to keep the culture alive. Rest in peace to the Godfather, Go-Go Chuck Brown. Thank you for this gift that you've given us. It's just amazing, and it changed so many people's lives. And I want to thank you for tuning in to this roundtable discussion about Go-Go on Keep the Beat Week. For my main man, Dirty Rico, and DJ Big John, I'm DJ Flexx. Have a wonderful day. God bless.